All right. Well, this is a State of the Union video podcast for Fade the Public right now because we've hit a dull spot in our content. The fantasy season has come to an end, but we're still putting out content. Has not been our best over the last month. Mm-hmm. If you listen to the YE Yellen podcast last Sunday, I don't know when this. Yeah, it would be 5 days ago as of
Friday.
As of Friday. Was it this episode or the last episode?
It was this episode.
Okay.
Yeah, most recent one, I think.
Yeah, so basically I kind of just aired out on Snacks and Animal for about 15 to 20 minutes. About, I don't know, I was just in a general bad mood. I was pissed off about what we were doing with Fade the Public. So we thought we should, I guess have this, it's not necessarily a battle, but we want to obviously open up. And
it's more of just a talk. It's something that we probably should have done.
And it's something we all very much care about that we want to make right. And the last month has just been a drag, like a legit drag. The COVID issue, the snow, all that shit. But it's just our heart and head has not been in it. So we figure it's not Festivus, but we're going to air out our grievances.
You're
welcome. For what?
I started it. Steve is just kind of here to...
You needed it.
To mediate, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
We needed well,
it's always good to have an outside eye on it.
Right, because I had my views that I aired out, and it was obviously towards the people that are not me in Fade the Public, so you guys have yours, and
there's only two others.
Steve will be an objective point of view person here.
Even
though he'd better side with me more often than not.
I don't know about that. Order!
I mean, I'll just start this off.
Let's go.
I wrote down some notes because I don't want to miss anything. But my number one thing, Snacks, I've talked about this before. Our number one thing is the commute for all this. We're coming in to the city every week, paying tolls, not paying parking anymore, but we were, and all that stuff adds up, and it's draining. So coming in, you're sitting here, we get here, we do the thing, and then we leave, and then you're still here. When you were coming to Emerson when we were in the dungeon. It was we didn't care because you come and then he was 5 minutes away. So the commute is just, it's beating us out.
Off the train.
It's wearing us out. We were driving home at 5 o'clock and it's sitting in traffic for an hour.
Fair. My question is, why is it worse for you guys than it was for me? And I did it for a full year and you guys haven't even done it for a full year.
So here's why. You came to my house, paid for parking for free. You just parked in front of my driveway. You walk in and then that was it. Also, you lived in Emerson and then you decided to move away. So listen, you're allowed to do that, that's on you. But you moved away from where we were filming and then you had to come back to do it, which also, this is your channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to work and do stuff, but you got to be the bulk of it, right? We're coming in doing the same thing, going to the city and not getting anything out of it really. You do all this work and then you see something in return.
So you feel like you're not getting anything out of this?
It's costing us.
Is that where
a problem?
Okay.
We're spending money to come and do this.
Sure. Okay. If money is the issue in terms of the tolls and the parking and shit, I guess I didn't really think about that being an issue. But if I'll expense that.
So yeah, that's this is one of our things. I think we were saying how we probably should have talked about all these things beforehand.
Right.
And that is on us because I figured you would say what was the difference between you coming in and whatnot, but Animal said perfectly.
But from our point too is this is the second year, 2 full years, and we haven't asked for anything. So we don't want to ask hey, can you pay our tolls? Can you pay our parking? We just kind of want you to be hey, appreciate you guys coming in. Here's $20 for the parking.
Yeah, I would gladly.
So that's something that we knew wouldn't be a big deal, but just something that we feel you probably just not even thinking about.
Yeah,
because
that's fair.
You're doing your own thing, so I get that.
Yeah. I also
I wouldn't have thought of it either, to be honest. If we were in different roles and you guys were coming, I wouldn't even think of driving over the bridge or getting up at 7 a.m, moving the car and stuff like that. So I think it is on us for not kind of bringing that up in March when we was it March when we started coming in?
Yeah, it was right around
a little after COVID. We did the first month
because we were doing the sleepovers. And he just moved in right as lockdown started.
Yeah, so it was probably a month after that. So it was,
yeah.
Probably
so it's April, mid-April, something like that. But regardless, that's something what we could have said too. But it is
that's fair too. And on a personal level, I think that I don't know. If I was in your shoes, I would have a lot more. And this is not saying you have to, obviously, but I would have a lot more excitement for doing this. Like, I like the city on a personal level way more than I guess you guys do.
Yeah, well,
right?
Yeah,
Like,
we're not city guys.
Yeah, like if I were coming in here, I'd be like, this is awesome. Like, I get to come in once a week and like
Yeah.
do this shit, and it's, you know, it's like a good time. I'm not saying you guys don't have a good time, but like.
Oh yeah, no, that's not what we're saying at all either.
No, it's
that's
more
the
of
least,
like
once we're here,
it's
we're here.
becoming
That's
like
great.
we love doing it, but it becomes like almost like a chore when you don't see anything from it. Like we do all this and do all this, and then we're just like spending money on tolls and parking, and then we don't get anything in return other than like, you know, the kind words and like the content we put out. People like it, which is nice, but like you do all this and you get something in return. So like you feel like, you know, it's not a big deal to grind, but when we grind and we get nothing, it's like
I get that, but
it
that's
just
also
feels.
that's also like what starting in the entertainment business is. Like people don't people do this for 5 years before they see any return from it.
Okay.
And I'm giving you a few things on the value prop. Here's the thing. Like obviously you're getting to build your own personal brand.
Yeah.
But what you don't understand is like the money that I've paid to Scott strictly for editing our shows has been upwards of almost probably between like 15 to 20K over the last 2 years. That's gone almost strictly to Fade the Public.
Yeah.
Like I obviously could have put that money towards editing other shit and editing other projects, giving it to you guys, but I'm trying to do what's best long term, obviously for the company and the business. Like it's not that I don't appreciate you guys and want to pay you guys, and like we could obviously have that conversation, but until we're seeing money return from what we're doing, like we're obviously way more of a branding play.
Yeah, well, no, see, our main thing is we're not looking for like $30,000 salaries. We don't want that.
I get that.
We're not looking for, we know you can't do that right now. We're not stupid. We just want I can't spend money to do this anymore is my thing.
I get that.
That's all it is. It's like, listen, I love doing this, but like, I can't if I'm going to put time and energy into something, like I'm making way more money in stock market right now than like I ever have. So like, I'd rather put attention to that, like read up on stocks that I can invest in the next day versus, you know, spending an hour writing 12 questions for Fade the Public when I get like, all we get out of it is the good feeling of doing a show that I like doing.
Yeah, and really the only thing
there's no price on that because it is a ton of fun. I mean,
I'm just saying it's a long-term play. Like that's like this will work out over
it's a whole,
3, 4, 5 years.
That's why we have to have this talk, because I believe in Big Dogs. I believe in everything that you're doing, and I want to be a part of it. But like, we just have to. Some things need to change in order for us to keep doing what we're doing, because we just, you know, we feel like we're slaving away here and just not. We want to see something in return. It doesn't even have to be money. Just like.
You guys consider this a job?
I do.
So this is what I have two things for this. So
not a full-time job, but
you consider this a job, right? So like any job, I would say I understand the tolls and the money. That makes sense because that's money that you guys shouldn't be paying because like Nick sees value. He's telling you guys to come in here.
That's
Get
very
that.
fair. Yeah. No,
but with a job, sometimes it does take a commute, which I think that's also
a job you get paid at.
Yeah, but like when you take a job too, you see a value in it, right? So if he pays the tolls, I think that takes at least one part of it out, right? And also I think with COVID, like I feel like if it wasn't for COVID, after filming, you guys wouldn't just go home. You guys would enjoy the city.
Well,
so I think that's also situationally too. So I think that does suck.
Here's the thing though. Here's the other thing I see from that is like I don't know if that's even true.
No.
I don't feel.
Well, I probably wouldn't be able to afford to go out and like drink in the city.
Not even like going out. It just feels like the excitement levels for doing shit are just very, very low.
I will say in the beginning, I think it was definitely at a high because
it was when shit first started and we were here in the summer. It felt like really fucking fun and exciting. And maybe it's a mixture of COVID and winter and shit like that. But also maybe not. You know, like I'm not sure.
It could easily be a mixture of a whole bunch of different things. Like we don't have set incomes coming in. Just obviously. Many millions of Americans are out of work and whatnot, so that weighs on your mind too, and it's just like everything drags you down, so it's just kind of almost like I don't want to say burden, because it's not really like a burden, it's just, what's the word I'm looking for, Stevie?
I don't know.
We'll get back to the word. But it's a mixture of a bunch of different things, because I'm not a city guy, I'm not. Like, I would definitely like to go out and on the rare occasion of doing it, but it's, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
probably has something to do with it too. Like I hate driving into the city to begin with. Yeah. You just have to do it for work, and when I was working down.
Yeah, I mean, it's shit. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I love fucking driving home from Brooklyn.
No, of course not. No one likes to drive.
No.
That's as easy to say as humanly possible. So.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean,
it's basically like you guys feel like you're sacrificing things from your end, and I'm not sacrificing from my end. Is that kind of...
Yeah, like I feel like you know that we're working hard and everything, but then it's also like, you know, and then you chalk it up to like, yeah, I'm working hard too, but You're working for something, you know?
I'm working for the long-term play of you guys having something there.
Yeah, okay, so like, well, let's go into this then too, though. Obviously, like, a lot of this is about money, but it's not about, like, us getting money. It's more of, like, so, like, you make these videos, obviously, like, how much money the company made, right? I love those videos. They're awesome. I watch, like, every video you put out, almost every video, except for, like, maybe a Dynasty one I don't care about. But, like, I'll watch almost every video, especially the vlogs. You put out a video, you know, saying that, you know, the company makes $200,000. Obviously, there's expenses and everything like that. You paid $20,000 in employee fees, obviously, you know, to Scott and Dr. Jesse Morris and whatever else. I mean, I think I got $850 this year out of $20,000. Now, I'm not saying that you have to give me anything, but like, we watch something like that, and then, you know, you also see the video, the last video from 2 years ago, where it's how much money the company made then in 2019 or whatever. There was a part where you were talking about how, you know, if you see someone and they show value, you want to reward them. Like, you just like, I wake up sometimes, I'll send Noah $1,000 on Venmo. I never got that.
Yeah, well,
like,
here's
our
the
problem is like, do we feel like disrespecting that, like, you don't value us at all? Like, you put out a video saying that about the other people that work with, like, Noah and Mike are great, but like, they don't commute, they don't do half the shit. Like, Noah edits and busts his ass, and Noah should be the first full-time employee for sure. But
that
like,
part agree. Yeah.
dude, we started this in my basement, 13,000 subscribers.
yeah. My thing with that is the value for them for money, them getting money, is because they're directly bringing in money for me.
Yes.
Anyone that I pay, like Scott, obviously, you know, I'm paying him because he's doing the editing.
Directly edits.
But Dr. Morris, his stuff went straight into the
I
draft
understood
guide.
that, yeah.
Mike and Noah both directly basically did the Dynasty draft guide last year,
Which is
and we'll do it this year.
Something.
My thing is not like I won't pay you, but you have to show me that I value you guys obviously for the brand and for the long-term play, but if I'm going to give you short-term money, you need to be making money. And this is not on me to put the product out there for you guys to do it. Like, if you made a fucking cookbook and started doing it, I would let you have the profits from that.
I like that's your idea for us to make. I'm not like a chef. I'm not gonna make a cookbook. I'm not gonna waste.
Then what do you want to do?
I want to do like the shit that we're doing, but
like you can't just be paid to make content and like you
No.
You know how small of a percentage of people get paid actually to make like just pure content.
The problem is like you I get it. You have to put dollars on things, but like I feel like you're not valuing the loyalty and the brand that we've built. Like Snacks and Animal, FTP. Like I feel like the brand loyalty and everything that we've grown, the growth from that. I feel like it's just like
that's not true though.
Yeah, but that's how it feels. Is what we're saying.
Okay.
Like, obviously it doesn't convert to dollars because we have an editor who edits the videos and everything is demonetized right away. Yeah, YouTube doesn't make a lot of money, but
that's what I'm saying.
We also don't plug any of the things, like, you have sponsors, we won't plug it on the show. Yeah, I'm the producer, but, like, I'm the Fugazi producer because I come in with a show sheet and then, like, you'll cancel 3 things on it. And it's like, dude, I wasted an hour putting together these questions. You just said, no, I don't want to do that.
Well, that's...
Am I the producer or not?
When we're talking about the money, like, that is what I'm saying. Like, all of the money I've given to Scott has been strictly for Fade the Public. Like, that money is far outweighs any money that I've paid anyone else in the company.
Yeah, but, like, we're working on Fade the Public, too. Like, yeah, he's editing it, but, like, we're coming in and out. We're doing all this. A lot of time goes into it behind the scenes. Like, you hand off the SD card and I go home and upload it. Shit took fucking 6 hours the other day. I had to stay behind my computer just waiting for it to upload. Can't go and do anything.
It's not like, what do you mean?
The file kept canceling, kept being corrupted or whatever, just wouldn't load, and finally went through.
All right, well that's like a nuance.
Plus, I'm saying it's these little things that just like add up over time.
Okay. So, what do you propose?
Hold on, before I see your phone. Do you have any thoughts? I see like your.
He's just big.
He's
a more articulate than me.
I have other things because like
I'll ramble for 2 minutes and
I feel like I'm obviously not full time, but I feel like I'm a full time guy. Whereas like the amount of like behind the scenes stuff and just like talking to people and engaging and whatever between the brand and organizing stuff.
I agree, but that's also part of like.
But yeah, you can't put a dollar on that. I get that.
That's part
but
of the
my thing is
foundation
like
of building your brand.
Yeah, little things like I paid $300 a year for Adobe. Like only Noah uses it. Like why?
I have two full time. Fucking.
So like why do I have one? Like I bought one. Well, no, I'm saying I bought one 2 years ago. We had everyone using it. Like you know about it. It's on the BDG login sheet.
There's 2, and both of them I pay for.
No. I pay for 100%.
I have 2 on my payroll, 2 full time ones.
I have 1. So like this is things.
Regardless, any software, any of that shit, I will I will pay for.
Yeah, but
I didn't know you had a secondary one you were paying for, a third one you were paying
it's
for.
on the login sheet.
We have 2 on there.
Yeah, one of them's mine. It's my name and my login. It's the Adobe account that Noah uses. He's logged into it right now.
I have 2 of them. I didn't know you had a third one.
I've had it for 2 years. So I'm saying, so like the past 2 years, I spent $600 on Adobe. Like, yeah, I started it for Ike, but like Ike edits for you too.
Yeah.
And like Noah's the only one. I'm paying $300 for Noah to edit right now. Noah doesn't edit anything for me.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's on you, but like these are things that like I just do things. Like I'll buy samples of shirts and like just stupid shit. Like I'm all in.
Yeah, I know that.
You know?
Yeah, I understand that.
I want to go back to the draft guide because, like you said, yeah, like that's the number one moneymaker for this company. Snacks and I were here. You didn't even ask us to like help, man. And like, we're not dynasty guys, but like this brand isn't like an analytical like brand. Like you could have put like
we could have our own.
Well, I
Facebook
did once. To be honest with you, I don't think the contribution to the fantasy side is going to be anything that I can't handle by myself or Mike and Noah can't do dynasty-wise. And that's why we brought it up when I'm talking about the app. The whole lifestyle side of the shit, you guys are going to be heavily involved in.
Yeah, but like we feel like you're giving us all this shit that doesn't make money, so we're never going to have a chance. Where it's just like, Mike just comes in and you just hand him the draft guide. Like we were already here for a year.
Because he's
like, I wrote animal analysis just to show you like I could write shit. Like even if it's a fucking 3-sentence blurb, like it fits the brand.
And I could
style.
also say, well, we have said on record that we're not the numbers guys or anything like that. But
Yeah, we know that.
But I could clearly see.
But that's what people pay for.
I understand that, but I also see hundreds of people weekly asking us who to sit, start. We could have our own section, whether they even read it or not. I do think there is value in his opinion.
It's more the
versus
point that
mine.
like we were already working with you for a year. We weren't considered at all. To like we were doing a fantasy show together. And like here comes Mike.
And if that is the case, if we were
moneymaker in the company.
if we were to be involved in that draft guide, we wouldn't say we're like, okay, we're not stack guide. We would actually sit down and do it because I asked you like, what more could I do? I think I don't know.
Yeah.
How many newsletters were we in? 40. So how many months is that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I'm totally on. I still stand by that. I love the newsletter. Love it. Talk about it all the time. I will do more than that too. And a draft guide's a good way or something else. I guess my point is what. I don't want to say like what more can we do because we probably figured things out, but like end game wise, what do you think that we aren't doing that we could do that could help bring in more? Whether we see it in right now or in the long term, something that we could dig our feet into that we could really take off with outside of just coming in for an hour and doing that and me doing the newsletter on the weekend and touching it up Monday morning, stuff like that. Just something that you think would be good for us to dig our feet in and run with, because we're all ears.
That's fair. That's fair. I think in terms of like what I can give you, I guess this is almost my overall point. Like in terms of what I can give you in order to progress for where we are, I've given you about what I can. You know, it's almost, you know, and I'm not trying to like pin everything back to Barstool, but the people who, you know, earn their money there and the people that like blow up there, they do it themselves.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
of course.
And I'm not saying you guys aren't good enough to do that, but like that needs to be the case for it. And I'm trying to build a foundation for you guys to give yourselves a platform.
And that's appreciated because our platform is ridiculous. Well, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and it's always
Can't
going to keep growing, obviously.
Yeah.
We'll keep getting there. I just think maybe from that's a fair point from the draft guide. I never asked you guys. And
it was more of like we just felt like disrespectful.
We're here. Like we know we're not fantasy football savants.
We don't like expect like you'd be like, hey, like write up a full blurb on this guy. Like no, but like a paragraph like animals analysis or like snacks pantry, like 5 things about this player he likes.
What we think about
little things like that. That still fits with the brand, and it doesn't like ruin anything because you still have all the good information there. And then you have that side of the brand that everyone likes and enjoys.
No, that's fair.
You know?
Did you guys ask?
It's a different dynamic.
You said he didn't ask you guys. But like when the draft guide was getting formulated, did you have anything where like, hey, I want you to put this in? I'm just like asking that part.
No.
Were you because mad at the fact that he didn't ask you? Like, fuck that.
Well, it was like they started doing the draft guide. He said like, no, and Mike are working on it.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, okay.
It was more so because we started doing a specific dynasty show, and I was like, let's do a dynasty draft guide, you know. So I was like,
and that makes perfect sense. They run with that. I can understand. I can understand the dynasty aspect that they take that and run with it. As it's growing, Dynasty's growing yearly, so that's huge.
And not to be like, oh no, I was gonna, but like this year we're probably gonna do video player profiles for each like player.
Yeah,
we're gonna split it up between like all 5, 6 of the guys on the team, and each of us do like 10 or 15 of them. So you guys obviously would have been involved with that, but like I do understand where you're coming from on that end.
Yeah, I mean, these are all just like things that like just need to be said because if we don't say
And
anything,
they're
I don't know.
nitpicking. We're not sitting here like, all right, listen.
It's like,
We want a check for $1 million right now. We're walking out and never fucking doing
Yeah,
the
we
job.
don't think you do these things on purpose. We think it's just more like, yeah, obviously you're busy, you got your hands full, you're doing a lot of shit. It's your first business, you know.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot. I get it, but like we also need to speak up a little more too, and obviously express how we feel because, you know, this shit wears on us.
Yeah, I got you.
That's all it is. I mean, as far as like the show goes, I think the show's gonna be fine. I think we'll be good.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. It was
No.
just like a little bit of a lull, and I think it.
Right,
stemmed
yeah, it was all
this
from-
kind of-
like, obviously a lot of
it
this.
was peak, I think like 3 weeks ago. I don't know if I was so annoyed in my life. We sat here for like 4 hours talking. Yeah, I mean, you guys are obviously talking stocks. And then we did the show and it was shit. And then we left and sat in traffic for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like time-wise, like let's maybe talk. We record Tuesday or Wednesday, usually, right? Comes out Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if there's a Monday, we sit down and we talk, whether it's Zoom or just text, what we want to do, and then we can sit here for 30 minutes, come here, boom, 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 crisp, ready to go. I think that the overall quality of the show will be even better. Instead of coming here with nothing, bullshitting for 2
So like,
hours.
the only problem with that, it's a good idea in theory, but we've tried to do that like 100 times.
I know, but
Let's make a meeting to
But
prepare
now
for
the
show, and
cards,
then we
but
never
now
do
the
it.
cards are like on the table, kind of. Now we're all saying what we feel and what we think, and then if it doesn't happen, then that's really on us. That's on us. So it's kind of just putting.
Yeah,
three
I think
brains
the other
together.
thing is too, like, the way that our show was going in the summer when things were like buzzing and felt really good and felt, you know, like we were having such a good time making the show.
On the roof.
It was like when the season was done, I felt like we could get back into that and start doing shit like that. I understand it's difficult because it's winter, but like we could at least put a little bit of effort into making that stuff happen. You know?
Yeah, I think also a lot of
Like,
like,
you
like
just
end of
saying-
season burnout was a big.
Yeah.
Like, right after this.
That's
like,
definitely a real thing. After I don't know how you do it. Like, I still feel like just wiped.
It's
That's
tough.
a lot of
I'm
different
back to like
things.
7 pieces of content a week, like starting
Yeah.
this upcoming week. So it's going to be tough for me again to do it. I guess my point was like burnout is very real, and you do have stuff obviously going on the side with Animals House and all that shit. But I'm like, this is for us. The way I'm looking at it, obviously, is like this is one piece of content a week. Like I did scale back a little bit, like to 4 pieces of content a week, but for us it's one. So I'm like, okay, can we put that effort towards the one piece of content that is like the big foundation of your guys' personal brand from my channel in a sense. And I'm like, you know, we have the meeting, you're like, oh, let's have the meeting Monday, come in here, do a crisp Tuesday. I'm like, I almost like,
We say it. I know,
it's like
it
we're
doesn't
losing,
matter.
if we look at it that way, where it's like we need shit to be concise, we're losing like the friendship aspect of what Fade the Public
The
was
lifestyle
built
part
on.
of it.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
to
for-
be, you
For
know,
sure, but it could even be like 30 minutes of the show. Like when we talk, you do a segment, we'll do a parade or something, you know, hypothetically. That's just 30 minutes. The rest of the 30, we could shoot the shit and do exactly what we always do. That's fine. I
Yeah.
just think structure-wise, knowing going in what we're going to talk about as opposed to, you know, you scrolling, well, this happened, just have kind of an idea. But no, I don't want to take anything away from our authenticity and the camaraderie that we have and have built. That's not my point. I'm just saying I don't want to waste like 4 hours doing nothing. It's kind of what I'm saying.
We usually almost never do. That was just a
No,
one.
I know.
well, no, there's
It's
been like,
not-
there's been a handful of times this year where we've come, like, got here at like noon, and like you were working on something else, or like on a call or something. We would just like sit there for like 2 hours, and like that's why
it's
like
never been 2 hours like that. If I'm sitting there doing work, it's like the first 15 minutes you guys.
Come on.
No, it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe you're not sitting there doing work for 2 hours, but we're not doing anything show-wise until like 2 hours in, which.
But that's never because I'm like, guys, you have to wait 2 hours until I'm done with something.
I mean, I don't have like a specific example, but there's definitely been a couple times where like you were working on a thumbnail, we're just sitting there watching you work on a thumbnail.
I feel like maybe I'm wrong.
Trust me,
Maybe
I
I'm
know,
wrong.
because in the car after we're talking about it, like,
Okay.
and we're like, we don't want to talk about it like that. We don't want to like be like, yo, why the fuck wasn't I doing that? Like, we don't want to do that. That's why we're having this talk.
Don't want to do that.
You know, because and I honestly think it's just stuff that you don't realize. Like, it's not like. We don't think you're doing it on purpose. Honestly, I think
No,
you're just
no.
busy. Like, if I get this
Dude, we're
thumbnail
not-
done
we're
now,
not
I can
calling-
save it and upload, and that's it. It's all done. And then
We're not
we go
calling
do
you
Facebook.
I've always felt like
Sample
when
here.
you guys come in, I'm usually working on something, but I usually wrap it up within. I thought I wrapped it up within like 10 minutes of you guys coming in. You guys need to settle down and shit, anyways.
Yeah, but then like our thing is like we come and we want to start talking about the show, not wait an hour and then do it. Because then
That's fair.
the problem is what it ends, it tacks on at the end. Now we leave at 5 o'clock and then we sit in traffic. That's why he's always in a rush to get out. He wants to leave before 4, so we don't sit on the GW for 30 minutes.
That fucking bridge. They gotta make it bigger, Stevie.
And then I'm getting everything out. So
Throw it.
I also have. Well, this is kind of, I guess, a personal thing. and it's not bad. It's just sooner or later we're probably gonna have 9 to 5s.
Yes.
Like,
and that's my other
that's
concern.
gonna be
if this
difficult.
is happening now with like this shit, what's gonna happen when you have those?
Well, I also think for me it's me looking ahead, and that's probably why I've been annoyed. Not like annoyed, but just like.
Well, you're trying to figure out how you're going to do this if you get a job.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
If
like
I'm working 9 to 5, even if
Yeah.
it's from home, like I have to be stationary working. Like
Like we're going to start coming in here at like 6? Like
I
at
mean,
night?
I feel like
and getting home at 9:30. It's gonna be different, and I don't mind doing it. It's just kind of something that sits with me. Like these things that we're talking about, we do have time. We're not saying we don't, but it's also like. Yeah, I don't want to be dramatic, like time is precious, but we could be doing more with the time that we have here, and just overall like that. So what were you saying, Steve?
No, I was just like, I get every part you're saying. I get like I as me knowing Nick and how he is, he totally like if I tell him Nick give me $1,000, he'd be like no, and then if I'm like Nick, can you buy me this TV that's $1,000? It's a no brainer because money to him is like 2 different things.
Oh, it's for
so
sure.
he doesn't
Nick's
realize
telling me
that.
more than I know. Yeah.
But also, the only part that I don't agree with you two is I understand right now, like you guys are, like you said, you're gonna get a 9 to 5 and the traffic and all that, and I think that's just part of the game. And I know it sucks, but no one's telling you guys need to drive in. You guys could, I take the train in. Like it's my day off. I could just, like I'm not like I don't. Like even like I know I'm just starting with
train
YL
in and then walk from Penn Station here.
I got a scooter. I Uber. I mean, but he said he's paying your expenses. So
yeah, well then we would just drive in this,
But then but complaining about like traffic and like you have to come later. Like there was time like the first 4 episodes I had to come after work and my job ends at 7 and I go to work at 8. And then I'm not getting home till 10 or at 9 and then going to work again the next day. And it's just like, because I want to do this. And I know.
Like you're going to that job that you have a full-time salary at. So that you have
but I mean, I'm not
incentive.
But this has no incentive for me. Like I'm doing Why Young because like, Nick asked and I thought it was a good outlet. But there's no like monetary, like I'm not looking for any incentive on this. I'm saying, though, I'm like, but I have to come to this because this is where Nick lives and this is where I'm going to come. Like it's just like part of the game. I get the monetaries part. That's why I agree with you on that. But like the commute and then you sitting in traffic, I think that's just like part of the game that you guys have to play because this is why the studio was built here.
We're also in a time where I mean we live at home. We live with people that are old and shit like that.
Yeah.
If I'm telling weekly I'm going on a train and I'm going into the junction and all this shit like that, I'm gonna get fucking ridiculed up the ass too. Like I haven't been on a train and I can't tell you how long. I listen. I know. It's a bullshit point and
Dude,
it's not. I'm not trying to make it.
I see them every week.
Yeah, but would you go? Well, your dad works on the train.
Yeah, like
It's not the
so.
same.
I don't.
My parents are both at home.
No, I get it. I
They
mean,
don't leave the house.
But I get tested weekly just so I can make sure I'm okay.
Oh yeah, I get tested
So,
all
I
the
mean,
time too.
like,
It's the principle of kind of. I don't want to hear it. I don't.
But, like,
it's one less burden that I need.
I get it. I'm just saying, like, I've been taking train since June coming in here, and it's not crowded. It's not like.
Well, of course it's not going to be crowded.
So I'm just saying, like, I know, like, that. I don't think the commute and you guys coming in here has merit if he's gonna pay for the tolls and the parking and whatnot, because this is just a sacrifice you guys have to do. Because if you guys want to do it,
Well, I mean, it's pretty much going to be the same
traffic's
thing.
not like the.
I mean,
pretty
you
much-
bringing it out.
Tolls is
and
15.
coming
No,
into the city. It's like one
Tolls-
Yeah,
day.
that whole thing could like
It's
I
one
feel like
day.
a
Tolls
simple,
are $15.
simple-
Train there and back. Is
I
simple
think
text
18.
from you guys, like at the beginning of the year last year, just been like, do you mind paying for the tolls?
That and I agree.
Would've
That,
been-
We agree,
should've
but
said
our
that.
point is
We
like
should've said that.
we don't feel like we should have we'd want you to like just do that. Like you value us coming in, like hey guys, I'll pay for your tolls.
And it's also it's
No,
gonna
okay,
be.
we were paying $20 for parking. Like you knew we were waking
If
up
you-
at 7 a.m. to go move the car.
And see, if you think about it, it's
No.
also the same. It's going to be the same thing between. If say he drives 1 week, that's $15 in tolls, and say like just 10x for gas or something. That's 25. You're spending $20 there and back on a train. So it's pretty much the same thing. If you think about it.
Yeah, the car-
Like
No, I'm saying if Nick pays
it would be-
for now, Nick knows.
for
Nick,
one style of
Yeah.
commuting,
Yeah.
just it's only one of them. Like if you're driving 2 weeks in a row, boom, you can get your expense there. I don't get shit,
Yeah.
or vice versa. But if we both take the train, that's weekly. That's like $45. That, that'll add up more than I think.
yeah, no, I was just saying.
I get what you're
like,
saying in the sense of
If you
we
take
could have done that from the
if
start.
you take the money out of it, I think
Yeah.
just
No, I-
saying
I
you
know,
have
I
to
know.
come to the city once a week isn't really big.
I know, I get that.
No, that's not.
All right, let's bookmark that. What else we got? Anything else?
Well, I'm chafing, so that. And that's kind of the crux.
Let me see. I'm all over the place here.
Should have went in order.
Oh, because something else came up and I, bring it up.
Here's what I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, if you have anything to say, actually, let's play.
I want to try to put in perspective the way I see things and the way I value you guys is like, this is obviously a tough time of the year, so I'm not surprised shit like this is going to happen and we're going to need to have conversations like this.
Yeah.
And, I always say like, oh, we're, building you guys up long term and helping you build your personal brand. Yeah, and like, I say so often that it's almost like it loses its merit at a point, and I get that too, because if I was in your end, I'd be like, okay, that only works for so far, that only pushes me so far.
The platform's already built almost now to just grow, like.
Yeah. The way I look at it is like, I am sacrifice. Like I could pull, if I wanted to pull two big heads off Twitter and have them start their own dynasty show on my channel and take the one spot a week that we're on, I could do that and we'd probably make, 50% more money on the draft guide this year because people love the info from them or whatever and pull that shit in. Yeah. So I'm not gonna say we're losing money by having you guys on because that's not the way I look at it whatsoever. I'm just saying like the way I value building you guys up long term and the way I value the branding of Fade the Public as part of BDGE, I also look at those other things and I'm like, oh, this is what we could be doing, but I would never seriously consider that as an avenue. You know what I'm saying? Like I can bring on people that I know will convert into like fantasy cash. Yes. You know what I mean? Like I know
people in the industry already that you could just put under the BDG umbrella
and have them just plug the draft guide every single week when they're getting 15K view, whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like another way I'm looking at the way we're building this. And obviously that's part of like the Big Dogs brand is like we want to have the personal touch and the lifestyle touch of it, and like you guys are basically the foundation of that.
That's kind of our point.
And we believe that. And we appreciate it. It doesn't go like on that.
There's no dollar to put on that part of the brand.
Here it goes.
I don't think so.
It was here.
Yeah, it's definitely moving it.
So we get it that makes it tricky, but then going back to like we feel like we don't have any opportunities, and you see say like make your own, but we're doing Fade the Public.
The short-term opportunities are very tough for you guys. I understand.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think the ceiling and the long-term opportunities will.
Well, that's why we're having this conversation because I want to be a part of this. I
know that.
Yeah, and that's exactly why we want to talk about it now as opposed to like
you text me saying I want to do a podcast. I said I got a fucking room right away. I was in.
Oh, it's so pumped. Yeah, and we want to have this now because come June when we get past this miserable stretch that is like no football, nothing really to like construe. We don't want to be in the summer like fuck this and just be like nope, stop the show. So this is why we're coming now. We're not sitting here. We have
go in.
We will still be here every week. Whatever has to be done. We're just kind of looking for like an outlet or an outlook into the future, I guess.
But what short-term things can be changed now that would help? Like that could help you be okay. Like you know what I mean? Like because you're at a point where I could see that this is like a big thing, but what short-term things right now can you?
Well, I can have a bag of Doritos on my chair every time I get here.
Could we do?
That's a good. It's good question.
I'm not.
Short term is not really. I'm sorry. Right, go ahead.
I'm not something I thought I would honestly compromise on. And I'm not really like. And this is not a big compensation thing, obviously. But here, why don't we do something like this if you guys are okay with it? I know it's again not a big thing. I'll pay for any commuting shit you need. Whatever you have on your bill right now that's for Big Dogs, let me know. And obviously I'll take care of that, even prorating it back to Adobe and shit. We could do some kind of like weekly compensation as well. It's not going to be big, but like maybe over the course of the year, it kind of adds up and pays a few.
We don't even want anything.
Dude, to be honest, like from the start, like we never even wanted. We literally just wanted.
I know you don't, but I'm saying now it might.
That was it.
Not even for incentive to keep doing the show, just as like to help you guys out because you guys don't have jobs. So like I'm talking like small, like almost like $50 a week for each of you.
Dude, it's more than we were even thinking.
How low were you guys gonna go?
We wanted
like throwing $100 at the end of the month.
$100 a month is all we wanted.
So 50 a week. 50 a week for each of you. I'll pay for the commuting shit, and and hopefully that could like.
Honestly, if you're giving us that, like, we'll take the commute out of it. I don't
Yeah,
care.
that's-
I don't know. It's fine.
Like that's
I don't like I said, like money is not the thing. Like the money is just a path to make sure that we are on, you know, a good standing.
And the money when we talk about it, it was never like the end all be all at all. Like there's not.
I know you guys haven't mentioned it.
And that's the thing. Like, we never once asked for anything, so that's why.
I'm aware. Yeah.
And we don't. I don't like asking people for shit.
No, it's very.
That's how I am for everything. Like, dude, George owes me $30 for fucking golf that one day when we played.
Still?
Yeah. I just never asked for it.
Well, George, you see it here.
I don't want to be like,
Oh
hey,
yeah,
George,
he's
like,
watching.
You got that $30
He's
for
watching.
the golf game? Like,
No, I get it. Like, I feel like how I mean, Iz has called me before. I've talked to you. Obviously, we vented. I mean, I knew where you were at because just in general. It's just I think it comes to a point where you guys need to be vocal because Nick's a horse that's about to race. He has blinders on.
That's why
he doesn't see it. And I know you guys.
One of the biggest things I appreciate about
I guess you guys don't like. Obviously, it's not about the money, but there's a lot of outside noise probably, and like during situationally.
That's another thing.
Outside noise gets in your head, and then also
for sure.
just
I got fucking people asking me like, "You getting paid to me?" Like, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Like,
they don't
And
pay
you say,
you.
no,
Like,
what the fuck? And I try to tell them, like, listen, it's you can even put it in the stocks and
Like,
start.
yeah,
It's a long-term,
you guys,
it's a
if
long-term
you guys
goal.
want something, you got to talk to me, and
For
just,
sure.
and just know that I'm always trying to have your long-term best interest at heart.
I never thought for a second, like, okay, these guys are gonna come in here, they're doing a show, they're gonna help me. Fuck them. Of course not. That's not at all what. I don't think you thought that.
No,
We know, like
we
your
chalk most
long-term
of it up
vision. and
to
everything.
just being like oblivious. Like that's like was the best way we could put it. Like,
Yeah.
He's the smartest, dumbest person ever.
well, yeah, exactly. Like, so I'm saying, like, I watch every video. Like, I know, like, you mean well and everything, but like, tunnel vision, I think, just kind of.
Yeah, it does.
And I think with everything going on, how much you do, that's completely understandable. And we've all been friends for like 20 fucking years, so it's kind of, easy to miss. Well, I've not taught. You have no relevancy.
This is happening because of me.
I'm
the most relevant person.
You are not my friend.
I'm not.
I'm saying we've all been friends. But yeah, that's.
How do you feel
I
about
love what we
this?
do.
I mean,
great.
it's good. I honestly feel good.
I love
This
what
is,
we
like,
do, and I
stuff
don't
that
want to stop doing it.
Snacks and I would talk about this, and we would feel like guilty. So like,
Do we feel like that's fair? Basically,
that's more than fair.
Extremely
Honestly,
fair.
like, we
Well, I
never
wasn't even
wanted
expecting
more,
that.
that's fine.
You know, like
Nothing.
that was really, and yeah, we should have spoke up, but we've kind of figured, and we might have actually jumped the gun on this maybe, but we got our kind of thing was like we were gonna wait till the season was over and see what happened,
Yeah.
and then like. I know the Monkey Knife Fight deal was ending in the Super Bowl. I know, like, that's when you'll know, like, what you actually get from them. So, like, we were thinking, like, maybe that would be, like, when we get, like, something or whatever. So, like, that was probably, maybe we should have waited an extra week, but I guess it couldn't because we were, not coming in and everything like that. We just wanted to get it out of the way.
Well, I think it was also good timing with you guys talking about it on your podcast too. It kind of just hit us like, all right, if we're gonna say something, let's just fucking say it. It's not gonna deteriorate the show. I don't think, in my opinion. It's just it's all concerns and stuff that we all know.
No, my shit had
We
nothing
just
to
never
do
said
with the
anything.
actual show. I
No.
have no doubts about like Fade the Public being fine after a month or so. We hit a blip and we'll get back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that.
It's just like I could just feel this pull of energy coming off of it, and I was like, if we let this dive too far, we're gonna
lose it.
We're gonna have some serious problems.
We're gonna lose it, and that's why I
They
think
were like definitely big.
this came at the right time because we have I thought we did a live stream last Friday, which I actually thought was pretty good because
the content's been fine, but like I'm not okay with that.
No, fine's not good. The shit that we have put out before and the shit that people love from our standards has been bleak, pretty bad. So.
Well, yeah. I mean,
And I think
it's never the same when you're doing a live like stream versus.
I'm not even so much just talking about the two live streams. So I'm talking about
It was just a month period. It was like it was the live streams. It was the it was even the episode that we did when we were sitting here for hours or whatever. Then it was a shit episode. And then it's just like it was every week. It was just like we were just pushing shit back and we were like not preparing at all for it and not having anything going. I was like, if we just continue to let this go down this slippery slope, it's going to become the precedent for how we move forward on this shit,
And we cannot have that. And I told I told you, I was like, I will help you put a show sheet together. Anything, we can come up with 50 fucking ideas, whatever the case. Run it by, whatever. So
Yeah, that's fine. I would like to.
Is that a bigger problem for you than you actually let on? That like you put together the show sheets and then.
I would like to be like full control of like the actual show, like not like dictator control, but like if I'm gonna be working on this shit, like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or the sheet, and then come in on Tuesday, like whatever I have plans, like what I want to do, and if it sucks, then it sucks. We go to the next week, but like I think it throws me off when I come in with a plan and like we want to change things like 2 hours before we film, and like now I don't know what we're doing. Like I'm a calculated person where it may not seem like it, but like I like to have everything ready to go, set up. I know what I'm doing, and then just execute on it. That's it.
Okay.
So like coming in, and then like I would like to still continue the way we do it, where the what's cracking, you're basically doing the intro, but then I would like to lead the show as in like there's so much shit that we didn't plug this year that I would like to plug. Like Monkey Knife, I should have been plugged every episode, and like that's on all of us because like I'm not thinking about it because like it's not something that like if I push like this many sales, like we can hit this bonus, like. That's something that you should like be on us about, like guys, like we really need to push Monkey Knife Fight because we'll get a bonus, or we really need to like plug Manscaped again, or we need to actually make an ad. Like we gotta be more
attentive to those kind of things.
Be more like a real company, whether or not you like that about it or not. Like
that wasn't necessarily for Fade the Public either. I probably left the Monkey Knife Fight shit.
Well, no, you did it for everything. I'm saying like you should have pounded that shit all year.
For my videos, like I would leave it out like half the time. Like
even like
plug it in. I'm like,
there
there's
should have
probably
been like
leaving like $500 on the table.
Yeah, there should have been a Monkey Knife Fight play of the week in every newsletter.
Yeah,
like little things like that. I didn't even think about that till the other day.
I didn't think about it till right now.
Yeah,
like it's just like one of those things. Like
yeah.
No, we've had that shit before too. Like we've been like, we need to make a commercial for it, and I kind of feel like I feel like that is also a bigger picture, not problem, but like what I'm kind of referring to in terms of like lack of maybe passion for it. Like I feel like when we first started, if we had an idea like, yo, let's do like a commercial for the Monkey Knife Fight shit, like I would be excited. I was like, this is gonna be fun as shit. Yeah. Now it's like we get here, I'm like, oh, I want to do a skit for this. It's just like, oh, like, do we have to? Or like, we've got to film the episode. It's like, do we do it before or after? One of them is going to suffer because we spend the energy on the first thing first, Like that's where I feel like a lot of energy is being zapped from. And I'm like, I don't know if it's, I don't know what the case is from it, but like, do you guys feel that way too?
I can see.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but not so much like for like skip purposes.
Do you guys need me to be more concrete with this shit? Like, need me to tell you like this is what we need to get done, and I'm like fucking very serious about it? Because I go like lenient on it, and then I'm like, if it happens, it happens. Whatever. It's not like make or break, obviously, but I could be more serious and like get fucking angry about it. Because some of this shit does piss me off, but I just like forget to bring it up.
Problems with stuff like skits is like. Sometimes I think in order to film like a skit and an episode in one day is like just like too much. Like that's like a 10-hour day.
Yeah.
Like that's like remember the award show? That was like a full work day.
Yeah.
Running around everything. Like a skit, like a 3-minute scene could take 3 hours. So like that's fine, but then we got to film a podcast after, and then it's not the same as like come back tomorrow we'll do it, but like then we got to come back in. And then we got other shit to do. It's tough.
See, but that's the thing. Like I don't think that like that. 4 hours of work in the day, like it should be fun work though.
Oh, it is, dude. I love coming here.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like if we were to do it,
no one's saying it's not fun.
Yeah, of course. There's gonna be dull spots that I'm not enjoying it either. But like if I'm like, okay, we need to do this and the episode for the day, it's gonna take like 3.5, 4 hours. Like I'm not looking at it like, oh fuck, we have to do work 4 hours. I'm like, okay, we get to like hang out and like fuck around.
I think up front, if I knew, all right, and if we had an idea like a Monkey Knife Fight skit, let's talk about it before we come in and say it may take an hour and a half, and then we have to film. I think mindset-wise, me coming in here knowing exactly what we're going to do and have to do is different than coming in and trying to talk about a skit for an hour then being dragged in, or being worn down by talking about it and then doing it and then the podcast. So like if I come in knowing, like you said, you're a calculated person. If we know exactly what's coming in, going down, and that we're going to be here 5 hours. It's a different mind. Your mindset's different.
If we have a skit that we are all in agreement that we're going to work on and do, I'll write the script and come in and be ready to go, like we did with the commercial. Like I had it word for word right now, ready to go. But we have to actually agree to do something. We, like you said, like we'll talk about like 3 different skits and then just not do any of it. So then that falls on all of us because we're not executing.
It's a little more organization, I guess. Will probably bring more effort behind it
for sure. And then I think 1 day a week is a big like. To try and get a lot of this content done in 1 day, it's a big task because...
Well, that's like the work day.
Yeah, that's fine, but like I still don't think it's always doable to come in. Like we come in...
I mean, more often than not, we're not doing that. More often than not, we're just doing the podcast.
Yeah, Recently, yeah.
So every once in a while, not really recently.
I mean, we didn't really do vlogs during the season because it's just
yeah.
There's enough content, we don't need it.
But most of the vlogs,
All
honestly,
season.
like most of the vlogs are like most of the shit that we've just been. If we're like hanging out for an hour before we do the episode, if we just turn the camera on, most of those can be turned.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
We just like don't. We just like forget to do that or just don't do that. And we're just like, oh, that would be stupid anyways. But like looking back on it, most of that shit.
Like, we
oh,
could come in with vlog ideas, and if we really don't have them, we don't need to set one every week.
No.
Like you just said, if we just turn the camera on,
So 20 minutes
bullshit.
of us talking is
I
like
did this on the weekend. I blacked out and passed out in my jeans, and I have a rash on my ball. Just anything. It's
just like shooting the fucking. Yeah.
That's right, exactly. Like we don't need a set vlog or anything like that, and that's fine. We'll come in here, we'll bullshit for an hour, we'll talk. It'll be on video, and then we do the podcast. We're all hyped up already because usually our conversations are pretty loud, obnoxious, and energetic. And then you go right into the podcast. Boom. Energy there. As opposed to coming in, lackadaisical, blah, 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 not knowing what we're going to do, and then trying to do it. So I just think some kind of set structure or knowledge of what we're going to come in and do would make a vast difference, mindset-wise. If that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Just like okay, all right, we're talking Monday. Max, we're gonna go in 11 a.m. and we have to do a skit for Monkey Knife Fight. This is what we're gonna do. Let's come in, we'll do it. We can discuss it a little bit before, then we'll do it, and we have the podcast right after. It could be a 5-hour day. Fine, I know what I'm getting into. I'm not gonna be sitting there by hour 3 and like.
I don't care if it's an 8-hour day or a 10-hour day.
Yeah, I'm just.
I look at I'll look at it as a work day.
Right.
We work, and it's
Right.
fine. But we covered everything really. It's that we just didn't want to be paying to come and do it, which we covered. So I mean,
fair.
And that was whatever. I thought it was a good talk. What do you think, Steve?
I think you guys all had your fair things. Like,
Worst
do
moderator
you feel
ever.
better?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because we don't want to talk. Like we touched on it. Me and Max have talked about it.
I think you guys need to be more
We need to
vocal,
be more- absolutely,
and he
right.
just needs to listen, but also it's going to be, if this is how it's going to be moving forward, you guys also need to be accountable as much as him. Like, if this is what you want structure, you can't say you're going to be ready at 2:30 and then come at 4:30.
No.
If you need something from him, you need to tell him, and you need to make sure he's accountable. Like, hey, I want to do this draft guy, or like he needs to know your value.
Dude, it's a three-way.
That's
It's
the
a
thing.
three-way
Yeah.
street, and I think for this show, I mean, obviously it's all
tricky.
it's all under Nick's umbrella, right? But I think we all have almost equal say, so to speak. Like I look at it as our show under Nick's umbrella, where we need to have more of a voice. Absolutely,
I think it's just tough when it comes to friendships before business, when it becomes.
Well, we're not friends anymore.
In business, but I think you guys need to have the friendship in this business, because that's why people love you guys. That's why they come to you.
They love the authenticity.
So therefore, without you guys showing the friendship, and you guys need these talks more. This is 2 years too long, And this shit, like you've told me, I've told you to speak up. I didn't want to be the one speaking up because I had no say in this, but that's what you guys don't forget. You guys are friends from the beginning, so therefore these aren't hard conversations, because these are conversations that need to be needed for this channel to grow. And that's what at the end of the day. So, like I said, you guys, let's be females. Let's do this. Let's talk about it.
Let's
And
be
then
what?
This is how you're gonna do it.
Let's talk. Yeah, we've tried them in
Be a
acting.
man, don't talk about your problems.
Yeah, that's like literally what we learned, and was the worst thing ever. So.
No, it was definitely needed a long time coming for sure, and it wasn't like we said. It was never like about getting money or anything like that. It was just a bunch of different feelings that we thought, and I think we.
And also, fuck the people that ring your ears. Fuck them. Fuck you guys. Not you, but.
That's not really like bothersome to us. We don't really care.
Bothers me.
It's one of those things where I've always.
I think it's a jealousy thing too.
So I don't care.
There's no doubt.
I know the value in the long term, but it's just sometimes you just need a little something to keep going.
A little reassurance.
That's it. That's all.
That's it.
Why don't you guys do a hug? A nice Corona hug.
Yeah. How about I make this shot?
What about a hug? What about a hug?
All right.
That's good. Now I feel fucking ready to roll.
We could do a hug.
I don't want Steve.
We could do a
I don't
family
want
hug.
this in here.
I'm on my knees.
I love the boys.
Love you guys.
Except Steve.
Why am I getting?
Okay. Okay, so we're good.
Do you guys say anything after?
Yeah,
No,
we
it's, I mean
hung.
that was like
Go use promo code PDJ on Monkey Knife.
That was
You
like
can
a-
still use monkey knife on in basketball.
Actually, no, our contract is
No,
done, so
that was
don't.
some real
don't use-
behind the scenes shit.
Yeah, that was some the fucking realest.